Okay, good evening. First, my apologies for being late. I'm on the board of ARC at Rockland, so I had no choice. I left my wife there also. So I'm in deep trouble.
Get a ride home together?
Yeah, we're in trouble, Frank. I am running for re-election for my second full term in office. My background, very simply, is twofold. Professionally, mostly law enforcement and security. Also about 12 years in the private sector. I still do work in the city as a security consultant. That's my day job, as I call it. As far as what I am and what I try to do, I believe I'm about advocacy. My background is a civic association president. This is what interests me in government. I think it's important for somebody to be in a corner when somebody has an issue. Legislatively, I have done some things. Back in 2007, I sponsored and a successful law was passed, the Sex Offender Free Zone Act. Since then, I've put out a couple of laws that enhance consumer protection as it relates to contractors and expired products. Most recently, you may have read about the military funerals. I'm proud to say that we have passed in our legislature the toughest law in the state to protect everyone's rights. And I also introduced term limits in February in the Rockland County. Sounds great. The only problem is, hands down, the biggest issue we have in county government, and it was just alluded to by the town supervisor, are the county finances. Many municipalities and families have been overwhelmed by the financial challenges in this country. But that's the easy, convenient, and the political answer. I actually made a copy of some notes that go back to my minority address in 2008. And what I commented, 2009, I'm sorry. What I commented on was that the government declared a recession as of December 2007. It was nice to pick it up about 12 months after the fact. But what I said was it was deep frustration that the minority identified and came out with information that showed there was a downturn coming. That we weren't financial geniuses here, but we felt it was important that with 24 states making preparations in front of a pending crisis, the county do the same thing. And what I said specifically, in layman's terms, these matters could very well be percolating as we speak tonight, and it does not bode well for our county. The economy and how we in Rockland handle it, hands down, is the most compelling issue we face today. With crisis comes opportunity, with challenge comes the ability and need for leadership. That was not said tonight for the first time. That was said in February 2009, 2.5 years ago. That's why we're worse now. We had a failed effort in leadership in county government. And the legislature, I'm not going to speak for other legislators, but the question is, what does one legislator do? One legislator does is seeks counsel. I spoke to a gentleman who I know in municipal finances, and there are a number of things he said I could do. Most notably, speak to the state controller. The state controller is in Rockland County right now and has been here since January or February looking at the books. I said no to some recent budgets. I argued passionately against borrowing the $18 million as a bridge loan. An operational deficit hole was covered by an $18 million note. That is absolutely the wrong way to run government. It contributes to worse deficit. And exposed receivables that we supposedly had of $80 million, it wasn't. And the finances of our hospital, which was supposed to be profitable, it wasn't. And I call for the resignation of the Commissioner of Hospitals. We cannot accept business as usual in this county. We need leadership. And as a legislator, I will do what I can do, because this is a fight for our families. I have two sons who have both served this country. They fought for the principles and they fought for the right of us to be here as Americans and live here in a viable county. And I have a grandson here. We can no longer afford to kick the can down the road anymore to our children and our grandchildren. We need leadership and we need something done now. And as a legislator, I'll do whatever I can do with my colleagues to get that happen.